Thanks for tuning in to Steel City Football, the 4-1-2. It's a great day to be a Pittsburgh Steeler. Let's jump right in. Today, I was thinking about TJ Watt's contract situation, and I don't want to make a bigger deal of it than what it is because I know in my heart that TJ Watt is definitely going to be a Pittsburgh Steeler for the remainder of his career. I have absolutely no doubts about it, but I don't like the way the Pittsburgh Steelers handled this situation at all. And my question is, are the Pittsburgh Steelers ever going to learn? Ever? You know, they asked Art Rooney one time, what was the biggest mistake of his professional career? And he said the way that he handled Franco Harris's contract. We all know that he left and played his final year somewhere else. So if Art Rooney knows this, then why does he continue to make the same mistake over and over and over again? First, you had Franco Harris. Then you had Rod Woodson. Now we're here in today's day with TJ Watt. And think about it. These guys are not just other players. Listen, I love all the players. They're all great players. But then there's the elite players. Rod Woodson, TJ Watt, Franco Harris. They're in the elite category. So when the Pittsburgh Steelers handled TJ Watt's contract the way they did, it's just mind-blowing to me. Of all the positive things that are going on this season for the Pittsburgh Steelers, do you really want to hear how TJ Watt's not at minicamp? I don't want to hear that. That should be the last thing that we need to hear. And a lot of the beat writers saying TJ Watt should be there, show his pretty face. No, he shouldn't. It's TJ Watt is not the one that's letting people down. TJ Watt is living up to his end of the bargain. He is worth every single penny that they pay him. He didn't have an off year. A lot of people keep saying he had an off year. 11.5 sacks last year. Ranked number 1 in run defense. That's an off year to you? Oh, he should be traded. I mean, I know everybody needs content around this time of year, but let's get serious. It's just plain ignorant and stupid when you say that. Art Rooney is going to make TJ Watt a Steeler for life. We all know that's coming. But why did it come to this? Why wasn't this done sooner? It would have saved the Pittsburgh Steelers money. I'm thinking about that. And then I read this article about Rod Woodson. I absolutely loved Rod Woodson as a kid. He was he was absolutely phenomenal in his prime. The only reason why I can't say that Rod Woodson was the best cornerback ever to play in the National Football League is because of Mel Blount. And I'm not just saying that because he's a Pittsburgh Steeler. But when the NFL has to change the rules because you're so dominant, it's Mel Blount and then Rod Woodson. And Rod, that's my guy. I was a kid, super small, super young, but I remember it clear as day like it was yesterday. The way he would break on balls, the way he could dominate games. Today's defensive backs in the NFL, the ball is thrown more than ever, and they can't get interceptions. They just can't do it. They're not that good. The instincts are not there. A lot of them are not coachable. Yeah, they're athletic. Everybody's athletic. But your mind, the mind is not the same. Their desire is not the same. I mean, these guys they think a long practice is an hour a day, 1 hour a day. That's what they practice now, an hour a day. So you expect today's defensive backs to be as good as the defensive backs from the past. It's impossible. You only get better at doing things by doing it. Rod Woodson could take over football games all by himself, never mind in the punt returns and kick and everything else that he did. Phenomenal player. I remember being in Little League, like my first year in Little League, and I had to wear number 36 instead of 26. And I was so pissed off. I can't even put it in words. We used to do this thing where you put your name in the hat. They pick the name. You get to pick your jersey number. And I had to go with 36 instead of 26 my first year. And to say that I was mad would be an understatement. Fuming. I don't even think that a kid that wore 26 would even know who the Pittsburgh Steelers were, or he even knew who Rod Woodson was. He just wanted 26. But I know who Rod Woodson was, and I try to emulate him. Backpedal, everything that he did, I try to emulate. So the gloves, the wristbands, the Newman gloves that he wore back in the day. I can't say enough good things about Rod Woodson. Absolutely loved him as a kid. And then I come across this article Rod Woodson wanted to spend whole career with Steelers, reveals why he hung up and left. I would even pull my white socks up. All the kids wore their socks low. I wore my socks high all the way past my knees because of Rod Woodson. My plan was to stay in Pittsburgh forever. I remember going through the process of having a new contract. They wanted to give me a 3-year deal. I asked them to push it to 5 years. It's not guaranteed anyway. It helps you guys anyway in the long run since it keeps my cap number down. And the only reason I left the Steelers was because of draft day of that year or of free agency. They called me on the draft and they were like, "Are you going to take our deal?" And I'm like, wow, I spent 10 years with you guys. I busted my hump for you guys. I'll do anything that I can for you guys. And you give me a 45-second window. I hung up. Woodson said that he was still bitter towards Pittsburgh until he signed with the Ravens and reunited with Marvin Lewis, who was a linebackers coach during his time with the Steelers and in 1998 was Baltimore's defensive coordinator. Lewis told him to move on and that both sides did what they had to do, and Woodson was able to let go of his bitterness towards the team. I don't believe that at all. And I don't think TJ Watt, he won't admit it and he'll never come out and say it. And neither will Rod Woodson and neither will Franco Harris because they're too classy. But somewhere deep down in here, it bothers them. Like you're an elite player. You put it all on the line. You did everything to be the best player that you could be. And you think the team would welcome you with open arms and give you a hug and be like, you don't even got to ask. We know what we need to do. Start writing the check. And they don't do it. And it's amazing the type of players that they give the money to, no problem. But then other types of players, you don't want to give them the money. It's just I don't get it. I love Art Rooney. I love the Pittsburgh Steelers, but sometimes the decision making in these situations makes absolutely zero sense to me whatsoever. And Rod Woodson, when he moved to safety, he didn't take a step down in play. He was an elite safety. He was an elite corner and he was an elite safety. But I will always look at Rod Woodson as an elite cornerback. If you take Mel Blount and put him in a special category, and then you take the rest of the cornerbacks, yes, even Deion Sanders, Rod Woodson was better than Deion Sanders. He was absolutely phenomenal. The way that he could jump the routes, his instincts, he just watch. If you'd ever seen Rod Woodson play, just watch the highlights because words can't describe how good he was. And Rod Woodson went on to play 18 years in the NFL, and every single one of those years that Rod Woodson played should have been with the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Pittsburgh Steelers could have definitely kept Rod Woodson his entire career, but they chose not to. And let's just say hypothetically it goes bad with TJ Watt's contract. Let's just say they don't want to pay him more than Max. If I'm TJ Watt, I'm not taking less money than Max Crosby. I'm not, no, never. Max Crosby doesn't even have 70 sacks yet. He's already in the league 7 or 8 years. I'm sure that TJ Watt wants to be the highest paid pass rusher in the league. And you know where a lot of that probably comes from at this point? The disrespect and the unappreciation from the Pittsburgh Steelers. He's probably thinking to himself, you know what? I wasn't going to be a pain in the you know what about the situation. But now it's about principle. And now, based on my stats, I am the greatest pass rusher ever to play in the NFL. And I want to be the highest paid pass rusher to ever play in the league. And TJ Watt has every right to demand that now. And if the Pittsburgh Steelers would have handled this situation different from the beginning, they could have saved themselves a lot of money. Thanks for tuning in to Steel City Football, the 4-1-2.